reaction from him, but not as much as I love the reaction from Joey Logano. And let me get out my phone here because Chinry took the liberty of compiling a lot of examples of Joey Logano just being how Joey Logano's statements were hypocritical. Now, first of all, he briefly mentioned, and I think he said it pretty quickly because he knew it was bullshit. He said if he had a chance to get to the 20 car, he would have dumped him for what he did. You mentioned Bell kept on trying and trying. Well, the reason he couldn't get by is because Logano kept on driving like he just had every single lane. He would run him into the wall if he tried on the outside. He'd shove him to the inside and threaten to like turn him. And Bell's been one of the guys trying to keep this sport clean, and he's been doing a good job, and he did everything he could. And it reminds me kind of some battles with MTJ back in the day. But let me pull up this list here. I saved everything he said. So first of all, and then this big gripe that him and Marcus Smith don't see eye to eye about is the gimmicks. The gimmicks. Let's take a look at times in Joey Logano's career. Go ahead.
Before you go on to the gimmicks, so to speak, as Logano called it, if you were watching the race, we were getting a yellow flag there anyway. Larson slammed the wall. There was a natural yellow. Either way, that was getting ready to be a yellow flag from Larson slamming the wall. So whether you want to call it a natural yellow or a promoter's caution, there was a flag there anyway.
That makes it even better, man. That makes it even better. That's just so Joey. So, well, first of all, we would call the playoffs a gimmick, right? It would be considered a gimmick where the best driver throughout the season does not necessarily see. That's what Joey Logano was complaining about. He was the best driver throughout that race. I can't argue against that, and he didn't get the win. But that's happened 3 times in his career when he won a championship. He was the worst champion last year. So the gimmicks, all 3 of those championships. But guess what? That's not even the only gimmick he's benefited from. If we go back to, I believe, 2015 or 2014, he won Talladega on a caution light. Now, we all know the rule now is you have to get a lap in before that caution light matters. But in the one time in NASCAR history that it ever happened to be on just a regular restart, for context, it was 2 laps to go, overtime finish at Talladega. Him and Dale Jr. were side by side, and I think Harvick was the one that like blew an engine or something. There was also some gimmicks over there, but it caused a big doo-doo wreck right at the start-finish line at Talladega. And instead of calling the caution immediately, they waited until Joey Logano got in front of Dale Jr., then threw the yellow flag, and Logano won, advancing to the next round. Dale Jr. was unable to advance. But there's a gimmick right there that he went from. But now let's go back to the point of him and Christopher Bell and their incident, because he didn't like how he was raced by Bell. If he pulls that stuff, well, let's take a look at some incidences throughout Joey Logano's career where he didn't really race people too fairly. Also, I love one of these has a quote of him saying he loves the NASCAR Cup Series championship, or the playoffs, I mean, which is a gimmick, and that which he said he did not like from Marcus Smith. We can go back to That's Just Short Track Racing, where he got wronged, but he did the same exact thing to Martin Truex Jr. Back in, I believe that was 2018. It was the last year of Furniture Row, whichever year that was, where he walled him, doored him, did not give him a chance to win the race. We can go to Joey Logano and Ryan Newman's heated exchange back in the mid-2010s. We can go back to Joey Logano recklessly driving down pit road and endangering a child last year at Richmond. We can go back to Kyle Busch and Joey Logano tangling at Las Vegas. We can go back to Joey Logano punting William Byron at Darlington a couple of years back. We can go back to Joey Logano spinning Matt Kenseth at Kansas. That's a popular one. Thank God Kenseth has the balls to say something to him for that. I guess he didn't say anything to him, but he spoke his words on the track. We can also go to the quote in which he said he likes winning more than racing. That kind of makes sense with what he said there. He also got frustrated with Chastain for not letting him buy in a race a year or two ago, racing the exact same way that he did Bell here at North Wilkesboro. Oh, and Alex Bowman got blamed for him clearly, Joey Logano clearly right hooking him at Talladega back in 2018. Oh, wait, let's go back to the gimmicks here with Alex Bowman, because guess what? Bull, you mentioned it when we first started talking about this. Bowman had, for whatever reason, even though he was safely into the next round of the playoffs, had an illegal weight adjustment, which uneliminated Joey Logano from the round of 8 last year and got him in the round of 8, which got him to his championship. So if not for Hendrick apparently not wanting Bowman in the round of 8, Logano wouldn't even be in the round of 8, let alone win the championship in the Final Four. So these are just the ones we could find. And the last but not least of Logano just being a complete hypocrite on the track, 2016 championship Homestead. No, he did not win the championship, but he robbed somebody else of a championship. I'm not even going to say it.